You know. Uh.
Okay, this video that I'm about to do today is about my journey into motherhood, how hard it's been, how tough it's been, the struggle, the strive, which I'm pretty sure there are a lot of mothers out there that are going through, if not similar, if not the same, going through the struggle, because that's what mothers do. We 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 um, we take the grain of salt, we take the bitter with the sweet, we roll with the punches, because real mothers don't have a choice, and we don't want a choice, because we love our children and we do anything for our children. So let me go on and get into this video. So sorry, I have a little cold. So let's talk a little bit about Donier and how it's been for him and the things that he's experienced. Okay, so first and foremost, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who do know but don't know to a certain degree, I'm going to get explanatory and I'm going to get descriptive in this video. So Donier was born with a condition known as spina bifida. Spina bifida is a neurological disorder that has 3 levels and 3 types. Donier was born with the most severe type. It's called myelomeningocele, which is a lesion connected to the spine with an open hole in the spinal cord. So when Donier was born, you know how you and I have a cerebellum? Cerebellum is what transport the fluid, CSF, cerebral spinal fluid, up and down the brain and the spine normally. Donier's was deformed. That is called Chiari-2 malformation. So he had a malformation in the brain. And he was born with that fluid dripping out of his back. So around day 2 of his life, they took him into surgery to close that myelomeningocele up because it was open. There was an open hole in the spine, dripping the CSF. When they closed that, sealed it up, because he wasn't born with a cerebellum, they had to take him back in there day 5th of life because he developed water on the brain, also known as hydrocephalus. That is the medical terminology for water on the brain. So they cut into the right side of his brain and they inserted something called a VP shunt. A shunt is put in place to drain fluid off of the brain. When they did that, because there are no guarantees with these man-made objects that they use, to help these children born with this condition, they clog. You can catch an infection in them. They malfunction for no reason at times. Donier had to go through a series of surgeries. Most recently, April 16, 2018, he had a brain surgery. It's called a neurosurgery, but for those of you, who aren't familiar with medical terminology, what they had to do was they had to go into the right side of his brain, remove the tube that was in there because it had stopped working and his brain began to swell with water. They had to take it out and put a new one in. With this condition, it causes all kinds of issues. Donier has a neurogenic bladder because he doesn't have strength down there. So he can't wear regular underwear. He has to wear a diaper. Even as he begins to grow, they have special made Pampers and diapers for people with this condition. He has to be cathed. There's something called a cathing program that his urologist just told me about. Basically, what they're going to be doing is what I'm going to be doing at home. And what they're going to be doing in school is they are going to be inserting a tube about this long attached to like a syringe looking thingy that you put into the penile hole to until it reaches his bladder, and you extract the urine from his bladder so that he'd be able to go longer without using the bathroom on himself, because he doesn't know when he's going to the bathroom. He doesn't feel it. He has no sensation. He has some sensation, but not enough to indicate that he needs to use the bathroom. And that works both ways, both with defecation and both with urination. So there's another program called the Cone Program where I'm going to be giving him a regular enema 5 times a week. I'm going to have to go up in there and squeeze this cone in his rectal and help pull the the poop out, basically, so that he'd be freed up, so he won't be pooping on himself or peeing on himself, so that we can at least try to get him into big boy underwears. Danier's been through a lot, and he's still going through a lot. He fell behind developmentally. A lot of stuff that other children did on time, or at least in the time frame that they were supposed to, Danier did not. Danier did not begin to do the things that a 6-month-old did until he was about 9 months. He didn't do the things that a 1-year-old did until he was about 2.5, 3 years old. And now that he's 6, he's operating on a 3 or 4-year-old mind pattern. First, let me just say this to any mother watching. Whether you have a special needs child or a child without those particular issues, being a mother is extremely hard. And I tip my hat to any mother out here doing it, and doing it for real. Being a mother is more than materialism. It's more than it's more to it than just buying your child the latest, or giving them the world, because at the end of the day, that's not what motherhood is about. Motherhood is about nurturing. It's about loving. It's about patience. It's about understanding. It's about it's just about just being there for your child. And Danier doesn't even know how bad he suffered, and I thank God for that. He walks around here, he's just a happy child. He's so excited, he's so ecstatic about everything, and I love that about my son, because while he's enjoying life still, even given his circumstances, I took the bullet to the chest, and what I mean by that is, I remember what he's gone through. I know the pain he's endured. I still hold on to those things. I cry for him. I mourn for him. I grieve for him. I spend most days wishing that I could heal him, that there was something that I could do to take it away, to make it right. And the harsh reality of things is there isn't. I love my child with every part of me. That will forever be the biggest blessing that God has given me. I can't imagine a world where he doesn't exist. Without that smile, he has the most infectious smile I've ever seen in my life. The most deepest dimples with those little long eyelashes. I love my son from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. And I wish every day that things could have been different for him, or that there was something that I could do to make things different for him. He's a beautiful little spirit, beautiful baby. And he's everything I wanted in a child and more. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. So my message to you mothers out there that may be going through what I'm going through, something similar, is stay strong, stay prayed up, don't give up, fight for what you want for your child. Because they told me he would never walk. They told me he would never talk. They told me he wouldn't be able to learn. They told me these things, but I told myself that he will walk. I told myself that he will talk. I prayed day in and day out over my son, and he's doing everything that the doctors told him he couldn't do. So my message to you mothers out there is don't give up, don't give in, don't shut down under no uncertain circumstances, because these children, especially children like ours, they are depending on our strength. And even though I cried and I broke down emotionally and mentally, he fed off of my strength, my desire for him to walk, my desire for him to talk, my desire for him to learn, my desire for him to succeed, my desire for him to elevate, my desire, because they feed off of our energy. From the moment their hearts begin to beat in our wounds, it's our energy that nurtures them. It's our energy that gives them the strength that they need to grow and grow the way that they are supposed to grow. So don't give up. Stay strong, and just don't give up. And that's my message to all of you guys. Don't give up. And I'm out of here. Peace.